I knew the event was going to be big, but it's just different when you walk in and you see these crowds of people and the energy. Today, what you're seeing is the energy that says we can do something about it. So
It's amazing. It really touched my heart to see the faces, people walking in memory of, and the number of people in the community that are here supporting this.
I am super emotional right now. This is just, it's overwhelming, it's tremendous.
It's wonderful to see a lot of my friends out here today that just came because we asked.
2 years ago, there was nothing out here for teens, for young adults. It was such a topic that wasn't discussed.
for us, it's really about being able to have the opportunity to be in events that are happening in the community that draw people in to talk about the issue. So we don't want to reinvent the wheel. If people are already talking about what happens in our community, we want to be there and we want to be able to talk about it too.
Well, I'm the chair for the Nevada Coalition for Suicide Prevention, and the coalition is the organization that puts the walk together every year. So I'm here in support. I'm here to help honor the walkers and the survivors.
We are here to raise awareness that problem gamblers are at high risk for suicide. We organized a team of supporters, volunteers, and staff to walk in the suicide walk.
Suicide's a really critical issue for us. 1 in 5 problem gamblers will actually attempt suicide.
Like the shirt says, 1 in 5 gamblers have attempted suicide.
We want people to start asking the question, well, why are you talking about 1 in 5? Because it's not a subject that's easily talked about in our community as you might think. People think you don't want to talk about gambling addiction because we're a gambling community. 95% of the public can gamble without a problem. For that 5% who can't, the problem can be serious to the point of considering suicide. So that's why we're here at Go Burgundy, and we want people to know we're available, we're a resource, and we're there to help.
We have different resources for other people that might have came that they don't know that the problem gambling community is impacted by this.
Suicide prevention is such a big issue. It's something that affects everyone. I don't think that there's anyone in the world that hasn't been affected by it in some way.
For every suicide death, there are 6 people, an average of 6 people who are affected by that. And we need to reach out to those survivors, and we need to help to prevent other suicides from happening.
Well, I've actually lost friends, very close friends in recovery to suicide.
On June 2nd, 2008, my sister Lainey died from a gambling addiction that you can't see, it doesn't show up, and it's a very secretive disease.
I have lost 4 people in my life to suicide and almost 2 others.
I personally, as a recovering compulsive gambler, understand that feeling of hopelessness, starting to think about a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And for me, that moment of considering suicide as an answer was extremely frightening, and it's probably the one most vivid memory of the pain of my gambling addiction. I was fortunate that when I called someone thinking about a way to kill myself, they said, I think you need to get some help. And so that's what this event is about. Speak up, speak out, say something's wrong. And if you think somebody else is having a problem, don't be afraid to say what's going on and how can I help you.
If everyone could just take one step back and say, let's get rid of the stigma, let's deal with the problem rather than trying to put our blinders on.
I want people to know that there's help available. I want people to know that it's okay to talk about suicide, and I want people to get involved. We need as many people as we can across the state with the coalition, with the Office of Suicide Prevention in their organizations and in their communities to know about what this is and how to stop it.
I want people to have awareness that help is available before if they're considering suicide, harming themselves, especially as it relates to gambling addiction, which I'm passionate about. I want them to realize that help's available.
I want people to walk away and say, people make a difference. You show up, you put on a shirt, and even if you don't understand everything about every organization, when people show up, put on the shirt, we make a difference, and that's the most important thing today.
I'm just so happy that there are so many people that want to be involved, because the more that we can talk about this and the more that we can get people involved, the more change we're going to be able to make.